welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing Toluca, Club Deportivo Toluca, 1, Bayer Leverkusen, 0, Toluca, 1-0 versus Bayer Leverkusen. What a great win for Toluca. They send a message and beat a European side at home in this friendly. What a win for Toluca. Goal was scored as follows in the 43rd minute, right at the end of the first half. Alexis Canelo gets the ball, rounds a defender, puts the ball into the near post, takes a great shot past the keeper, and puts it into the net. 1-0. Toluca has something to show for their great first half, taking it more seriously than Leverkusen did, and they got some out of it, and rightfully so. They were the better team the whole first 45. The second half, defensively, I would say they weathered the storm. Overall, they were the better team. But the second half, Leverkusen had their moments, especially in the first 25-30 minutes of the second half. But we'll get there. So at halftime was 1-0 to Toluca, 1-0. Full time ends the same way, 1-0 to Toluca, 1-0. Toluca win the match. Of course, there's no stats for me to talk about here because nobody recorded the stats of this match. Whether it was TUDNA, whether it was FOTMob, whether it's ESPN or Google, I just had what I had on my paper. But I could still see it, and I'm going to tell you what I felt or what I saw and what I felt about the match. First half was all Toluca. All Toluca. They were way more serious. They took this seriously like it was a league match. The 15th place team out of 18 in Liga MX Clausura playing the 3rd place team in Germany this term, the Bundesliga. And Toluca come out looking like they were the 3rd place team in the Bundesliga because they took this way more seriously. Leverkusen looked at this like a trip, frankly, especially in the first half. They thought they were so full of quality that they should be able to handle the 15th place team at Liga MX, even if they are at the home, Nemesio Diaz, of that 15th place team. I think they were a little bit cocky. I really do. I think they were a little bit cocky about where they really stood. And Toluca took advantage. They were better offensively. They were pressing well, making good defensive plays. Honestly, they probably should have scored more than one goal, but they still at least had something to show for that first half. And then the second half, and it was right at the half. It was right there, which basically said to Leverkusen was like, we don't like this. And they come out on the front foot. They come out fighting. They come out pressing, knowing that they have about 30 minutes to equalize the game or win the game because of the altitude. And again, you could see it. They still had some counters after around the 75th minute. But definitely in the first 30 minutes of the half, in that matchup, they pressed, they went forward, they gone for it. They were going for it. They were trying to get that match back in their hands, whether it was a draw to send it to penalties if they chose to do penalties or just take the draw or win outright. But they didn't get it because Toluca stood firm. They weathered the storm. They won the match. They defended amazingly in that second half. And they stepped up and were tough, showed that they were there to play and they belonged, and they weren't just there to collect an extra paycheck or there to just play it like a friendly. They were there to win, Toluca. And I respect it. Because the second half, they had to weather the storm. And I said that at halftime. There was going to be a storm they had to weather of Leverkusen playing out of their minds to try to at least equalize that game, if not win. And they didn't let them equalize. They did not. Garcia stands on his head well defensively. Toluca pull out a masterclass. And they weather the storm. And they still have some counterattack chances throughout that storm. Leverkusen had wasteful possession there. You want to talk about me loving dominant possession in a football match in the comments of my last video. Well, I'll say this here. Leverkusen had wasteful possession for a third-place Bundesliga side who should be dealing with a 15th-place Liga MX side. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. I don't care if you don't have Patrick Schick, because most likely he's going to be at Dortmund or Bayern next year. I don't care. They still had Diaby. They still had multiple good players. And they still couldn't figure it out. They should have easily figured that out. If you have that much talent, they were still cocky. And it ended up not going their way. And honestly, I'm happy that Toluca got it done. Because it shows you that CONCACAF has that quality to fight and get wins and results over European teams. As I've said, CONCACAF is something you shouldn't turn a blind eye to and not disrespect. Now, I do know Italian fans respect CONCACAF a lot more. Also, German fans. Anybody who isn't an English fan in Europe, they do at least give CONCACAF some respect. It still isn't enough in my book, but they still do. But Leverkusen was cocky. Full on tonight. They were like, oh, we're here for a vacation and an easy football match. No. They got everything thrown at them, the kitchen sink and more. And then they tried to throw the kitchen sink back, and they threw it through the window. And that's exactly how this match went. Toluca were the better side. By far. And then the last 15 minutes, plus stoppage time, Toluca had great chances. Alexis Canelo with another great chance. Almost closes the match down. Had a great chance there. With that being said, Toluca were the better team. They had chances to shut it down, of course. Leverkusen still had chances to tie it up in those last 15 minutes, but it was a lot more on the break. And not as pacey as you would expect a break to normally be if you have a Mexican team versus a Mexican team or a MLS team who's in form against a Mexican team. But with that being said, Leverkusen still went on the break. They had chances and they got stopped. And in the end, the defensive play by Toluca sealed this win. They did enough offensively in the first half that in the second half they could break if they needed to and defend most of the half and having to weather the storm, and they did. And then Leverkusen, of course, tired out with the altitude around the 75th minute, which is what normally happens when you have a MLS team who's out of form early in the season playing in Mexico during the Champions League. So I've seen this before. I know where this goes if you're not used to altitude. Around the 75th minute, your performance just dips. Like just dips, nosedives. It's not great. I've seen it. I know where this is. And that's exactly what happened to Leverkusen. They were not used to the altitude in this match, and it made them pay as well. They knew what they had, though. It looks like they knew. If you looked at the match in the second half, it looked like they knew about the situation. I mean, of course, you're going to feel the effects of altitude. I get that. But it's like they knew. They went in knowing that the 75th minute is where it all goes to die if you're not a Mexican team. Like, where it all goes to die if you're not a Mexican team. So, they knew. They knew. They knew. And they got exactly what they expected to get. Or what they were trying to get. They played that way. They didn't get anything. So with that being said, Leverkusen fans, if I were you, congratulations on making the UEFA Champions League next year. Congratulations on finishing third. You still got embarrassed by a Mexican side that should have, honestly, in all forms, even though they took it way more seriously, still shouldn't have beat you. Toluca was not great this year. Ignacio Ambriz is a good manager, even though he did lose to Chris Armas in the Champions League and got embarrassed by Chris Armas. I still think I'm going to blame that on Lewellen because they're regular chokers, just like the Toronto Maple Leafs. I made a reference to that before, don't worry. I'm going to still say Ambriz is a great manager and he should have never left. Ambriz outfoxed you. As not expected, but as I know he could do. He outfoxed y'all. And y'all failed miserably. When you shouldn't have, because you're frickin' Leverkusen. Was it the ego? Was it that they looked at it like a trip? Or was it looked like they just got beat? It wasn't their day. I don't think that's the case. I think they looked at it like a trip, as well as they were a little bit egotistical and acting like their stuff didn't stink. And look what happened here. I'm not saying soul search over a friendly, but I would think about this and I would sit there and be like, yeah, that didn't go well. So I feel if I were you. I wouldn't be happy about it. Toluca fans, if I were you. I know it's nothing. I know it's a friendly. But celebrate like you won a trophy because this is your biggest win of the year. And maybe it's a good place to start off for next year. Maybe it's a good not a stumbling block, but a starting block for Ambriz's true era at Toluca. It could be a good starting block. It could give you a lot of confidence and a lot of shine for other players to come in during the summer. So this could be a very good thing if you use it the right way. It could be a very good thing for Toluca as a club to have this win. It could be notoriety. It could be like, hey, we beat Leverkusen in a friendly. We're a very good team, and we're on our way up with Ambriz. Join us. Plus the money. And the atmosphere was absolutely amazing from Toluca fans as well. They willed this team to win as well, just as much as the team willed themselves to win. That atmosphere was amazing by Toluca fans as well. Beautiful stadium, Nemesio Diaz. I'd love to go there, but be proud. This could be a very good starting block for the next couple of years for Toluca. You could be back in the Champions League one of these days. I wouldn't be shocked. It's a good starting block, and it's a good place to be, and it's a good place to start from, knowing you could have a performance like that. It's a good thing to be proud of, so celebrate. I know it's a friendly, but celebrate, and I think you will. So with that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Hit that subscribe button once you've watched this video. Hit that like button. Hit that bell notification once you're subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in a playlist. Share it with your friends and family. With that being said, this is the first match of 2 with a German team that has... involving a German team. Of course, tomorrow we have the Europa League final. I'll be reviewing live watch along and review of Eintracht Frankfurt versus Rangers, the Europa League final. I will see you then. 2 o'clock Central Time. For me, of course, if you're in Germany, it's God knows what time. I don't know how far ahead you are. In Mexico, it's 1 or 2 probably. So, with that being said, hopefully I see you there. Or just anybody. 2 p.m. Central. It's going to be pretty early. Hopefully we enjoy it and have some fun. Another game with a German team that has a part of this. And I'll see you then. I'm out. Peace.